Do you have problems trying to figure out what to wear on dates? Let's get into it. Hi everyone, I'm Daphney and I own a company called Fern Connections. Let me just talk about something, because one of the things that we do a lot, we're working with our clients, is that we help them on what to wear on their dates. It doesn't matter if they're like virtual dates or they're in-person dates. So let's just get into it, okay? So the first thing I want to say, that regardless of whether or not you're on a virtual date or you are on an in-person date, let's be neat, people. Let's make sure our clothes are ironed. Let's make sure our clothes are not wrinkle. I know there's like some fabrics like linen that wrinkles very quickly. I get it, right? But let's start with a good ironing or a good, dry cleaning, before we go on our dates. And it doesn't matter, like, even though you think, okay, like we're just online doing this date, no, you need to make sure you show up as if you were in person because you're trying to put your best foot forward. So iron your clothes, make sure your clothes look neat, make sure your clothes are clean, right? I know nobody can smell you if you're online but at least like make sure you look presentable, make sure you look good, honey. Iron your clothes. Wash your clothes, make sure they match, right? I love mixing patterns like everybody else, but sometimes, we got to make sure it makes sense. Okay, so let's make sure we're neat. Let's make sure our clothes are ironed. Let's make sure our clothes are clean and that we look good. So the next thing, and this is tough, it's really tough. I just want to say this. I even have issues with this, but make sure you're wearing the right clothes for you. Like, I'm a little thick, y'all know that. So I try not to wear tight clothes, but I'm serious. It's like, wear clothes that are right for you, clothes that fit your body. Like, I'm a little bitty. I'm short. I'm like 5'1.5". I'm not lying. That's like on a good day. So I'm a little bitty. So, and I also have curves, right? So one of the things that I like to do is show off my legs, because I got great legs, honey. I may have a little bit of more, chunk in places, but I have great legs, so I like showing off my legs. But I think you should accent the things you feel good about with your body, that look good, and wear clothes that are right for you. I know we all want to be sexy, honey. I know we all want to look our best, but I say let your clothes fit properly. Make sure that they're not too tight. Make sure that, they're not too loose, right? Make sure that you're wearing a belt if you need to wear a belt, whatever that is. Just make sure that your clothes fit properly, right? And so let me just say this. There are like certain colors that work for us. Like, this is probably like not the best color for me today because it kind of blends in with my skin. But there are color charts out there that can help you to determine what colors look best on you. Like, I know gray looks good on me, honey. That's why it's behind me. I know that I can wear some off-white any day, every day. And red is good for me, and I love to wear a red lip even though I'm doing a new thing today. So, check it out. Check out these color charts and see what works best for you. And then the other thing, let me just say this. Make sure you dress appropriately for the date. Y'all just ignore Roman. He's like back here trying to steal the show. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately for whatever type of date it is. And I'm telling y'all, it doesn't really matter, even if you're on a virtual date. If you are doing a cooking class or you are doing a paint and sip and it's virtual, make sure that you dress appropriately. And I'm just gonna say this, because sometimes people get very casual when they're doing virtual dates. Don't, still look good, because you're trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to show somebody that you're interested. And a lot of times when you don't, I don't want to say play the part, but if you don't look the part, then people don't know that you're serious about the date. So I would say, regardless of whether or not it's virtual or not virtual, make sure you dress appropriate for the day or for the type of date it is. If you're going out to go hiking, put on some cute workout outfits, right? Not too tight, not too loose, but let it look good, right? Still try to be really, I don't want to say dressed up, but dressed up in a sense that you look good when it comes to okay, this person looks good, even though we're going to go up this mountain and hike, they still look good, because that's really what you want. That's really how you want to present yourself. So the last thing I want to talk about, and I'm just going to say this, because it doesn't matter to me. Like for me, it doesn't matter if you're doing a virtual date or if you're doing an in-person date. I talked about earlier that we need to be neat. One of the things that I'm big on is clean nails. Like I don't have a lot of nails because I like type a lot. So I keep my nails most of the time, unless I'm wearing faux nails, I keep my nails like really, really short because I want them to always be clean, because I really, really have this thing about dirty nails, right? So make sure that your nails are neat. Make sure your hands are clean. And I don't care, honey, if you work down at the auto shop or whatever you do, make sure that before you go on that date that you scrub them hands good. And another thing for y'all, let me just be honest with y'all. Use some lotion, use some lotion, use some cream, some moisturizer. Make sure your hands are soft. And this has nothing to do with gender or masculinity or femininity, any of that. It just has to do, if you want to hold somebody's hand. If I'm gonna hold somebody's hand, honey, I want them to have soft hands. I want them to have smooth hands. I don't care that you work down at the auto shop. I still need your hands to be soft, right? If you're gonna be like touching someone's arm or like touching someone's knee, make sure your hands feel good. And that, I mean, like I said, it has nothing to do with whether or not, what gender you are, or, you're non-conforming and lean a certain way or whatever. All it means is that you've taken the time to prepare for this date, right? Now, I'm just gonna say this because some of y'all are gonna be like, well, what difference does it make if we're doing a virtual date? It makes a lot of difference, because like you can see my hands now, I can see your hands when we're doing the date, right? So you need to make sure that you still take care of these things, take care to make sure you put on lotion. I put on some lotion before this video, even though y'all can't tell. It smells really good though. But do these things, put the effort in for your dates. Okay, another thing. Now I'm big on this. And I use what I call the Halle Berry rule, right? And in the Halle Berry rule, I probably wear too much perfume. I'm not gonna lie. I like to smell good. That's just me. I'm gonna say this. Even if you're doing a virtual date, make sure you like put on some, good smelling cologne and stuff, right? Smell good, because, you're like putting yourself in this place of, I want to do well on this date. I want to have fun. I want to put in the right energy. So yes, even though you're sitting at home, like put on some perfume, put on some cologne, your favorite. You don't have to put on a lot, but definitely when you're going out on an in-person date, you definitely want to make sure that, you have your cologne and your perfumes on. If you like oils or whatever that is, lotions, put those on so that you feel very confident. And one of the things that I like to do, do a quick check. Like before you leave the house, make sure you don't have lipstick on your teeth like me, maybe not today. Make sure that, nothing is out of place with your clothes, right? Check your shoes. And let me just say this, make sure your shoes are good too, right? When I talked about being neat, one of those things is making sure that your shoes are clean, making sure that your shoes are polished sometimes, making sure that your shoes match your clothes. And that can mean a lot of different things. But I'm just saying that these things are important when you're going on dates, because you want to like put your best self out there. And by, wearing the right clothes, smelling good, having clean hair, whatever that is, taking these dates seriously is what's going to like take you to the next level. So let me recap really quickly. I'm not saying you have to spend a lot of money for any of this stuff. What I'm saying is that iron your clothes, make sure you look neat, check some color charts to see what colors work best for you. Make sure your clothes fit properly. Make sure you're wearing the right type of like clothing for the actual date. Make sure that you clean your nails, you clean your hands, all the things, right? So that you can put yourself out there and be, the best that you can be for your dates.